morning everyone, and I hope you are all safe and well and continuing to bear up under these continued and very unusual circumstances which we are all finding ourselves living through at the moment. So today, my friends, I am exploring Hamsterley Forest in County Durham near Bishop Auckland. Have a little look where I am today. Have a little look around. Isn't that lovely? It's an absolute mecca and haven for walkers and horse riders, runners and mountain bikers. So this is right up my street. So today we are taking a fairly short explore. It's 4.5 miles or 4.5 kilometers, I believe. I think it's called the Three Becks Trail, and we're going to see what's going on at Hamsterley Forest. So if you've got a bit of spare time on your hands, why don't you walk with me? We're going to be out for a couple of hours, and we're in no rush today, so come along, let's get going. Let's go and explore Hamsterley Forest. So I left the shelter of the trees where I was previously talking to you about Hamsterley Forest and headed out across an open plain. Now this area has obviously been cleared by the Forestry Commission, and I've got mixed views or opinions on this as to how important the felling of all these trees is in this world of drastic climate change, but I'm sure there's a reason, so do feel free to fill me in on the reason why this area has been cleared so drastically. Just have a little look behind me, just up the path there which I've come down. That area just behind me would have looked just like that area behind me there. And anyway, I've just been pebble dashed by hailstones as well, which just goes to highlight the extremity of the ever changing weather in the north of England, which is why you always need to be prepared when you're out on an explore or a hike. But anyway, we're heading back into the trees now, so I'll catch you all in a short while. Mind, there you go. Hi guys, just over my shoulder there you can see the path. That's where I've come from. We are following the amber waymarks today around Hamsterley Forest, and you can see just behind me there's another waymark, the amber arrow, and that's where we're heading, down that track down through the woods. But we're back in the trees, so it's nice and sheltered in here at the moment, and I just want to have a quick catch up with you and tell you about 1 hour and 40 minutes of my life yesterday. Sounds a bit bizarre, doesn't it? Well, yesterday, guys, I was honoured, and I had the privilege of spending 1 hour and 40 minutes virtually over a video call with Ross and Laura College. Now, most of you will probably be wondering who the hell are Ross and Laura College. Well, Ross and Laura appeared a few years ago on a reality sort of TV show on Channel 4 called My New Greek Life, which focused on British people who decided to leave the UK and search a new life in Greece, mainly around the Greek islands or Corfu and various locations such as that. And Ross and Laura decided to give up their life in the UK and set up a new life on a sailing yacht called Holly Blue. They have a YouTube channel. They also have a Facebook page as well, and I will share the links to their YouTube channel and their Facebook page. Mountain bikers, I think we'll be coming back here. So I spent the most amazing 1 hour and 40 minutes yesterday on a video call with Ross and Laura, and we talked about change and how you must believe and embrace change if you want things to change. And that sounds quite simple, doesn't it, when you put it like that, that of course if you want something to change you've got to make changes, but making changes can be very difficult for some people. And it can also be very rewarding, and I just use this as an example. This morning I was in my garden, and my garden is starting to look nice now because all the flowers that I planted out last year and early this year are starting to come into bloom. So a garden that was very green and bland a few months ago is now starting to look quite pretty. And I'm no gardener, by the way, but we have colour in the garden, and we have colour in the garden because last year and earlier this year I decided to make some changes and spend some time in the garden, and I'll just use that as a simple analogy. But I'm going to head on down this track just down here. That's where we're going. It's quite steep, so I'm going to sign off, and when we get to a level area again and we are out of the wind and in the trees, I'll tell you a little bit more about Ross and Laura College and Sailing Holly Blue. Hi again, guys. It's bizarre, isn't it, to think that only about an hour ago I was up on the high ridge being pebble dashed by tiny hailstones. They were like little pinpricks all over my face. Look at it now. Isn't that beautiful? So this is Hamsterley Forest for those that have just joined, and this is where I am today. I'm on an explore around Hamsterley Forest, and I'm following what is known as the Three-Beck Trail. It's the orange one. Very, very easy to follow. It's waymarked all the way. It's great to see so many people out and about today. Walkers, runners, mountain bikers, all enjoying Hamsterley Forest and everything that it has to offer. So I'm going to jump back on, guys, on the subject of change and talk a little bit more about the online video conversation I had with Ross and Laura College from Sailing Holly Blue. So I'm going to push on and get a few more miles in, and just look at that, enjoy the blue sky. So I'll see you all in a little while. Hi guys, and welcome back. Welcome back to Hamsterley Forest. This is proving to be a great explore. Now, what I want to do, I've just going to take a little bit of time just to have a little breakout, and I want to talk to you about my 1 hour and 40 minutes which I spent yesterday with Ross and Laura College from Sailing Holly Blue. just simply a most amazing 1 hour and 40 minutes. I was really, honoured and privileged to spend time in their company, albeit not literally. It was over a messenger video conversation, and they spoke to me in great depth and great intimacy about how their life changed a few years ago and how they rolled out their plans to live a different life. They were basically unhappy with the way that their life was rolling out in the UK, and decided that they wanted to live a new life. And they ended up selling up and giving up everything that they owned in the UK to live on a Bavaria cruiser. Now, for those of you that know will know, but for those of you that don't know, a Bavaria cruiser is a sailing yacht, and it's about the size of a medium to large caravan. And they have 2 young children as well that live on the boat as well, Josh and Noah, who I also got to see and speak to yesterday. They're absolutely delightful boys who have really embraced the culture and the change of life, and are what can only be described as sponges for knowledge and intellect and culture. Now, I'm a firm believer, and I don't know about you guys and you lot, but I'm a firm believer that change does not happen for only 2 reasons. Let me reiterate, change does not happen for only 2 reasons. Reason 1, motion. If you do not want change to happen, if you do not want your life to be different, if you do not want where you are living to be different, if you do not want to change the way you look, the way you feel, the way you act, your personality, your behaviours, if you do not want that to happen, if there is a lack of motion, then nothing will change and everything will stay the same. Okay, so deal with it, get over it, get on with it. The other reason is fear. Now, fear of the unknown, I get that, dudes. I get that, but the fear of the unknown can be tackled. It can be dealt with. Okay, think back to a newborn child. You've just spent 9 months not having a clue at all what is going on, and then you are born into a world with no history. You have no idea where you've come from, you have no idea where you're going, you have no idea what fate lies ahead of you. The other way to tackle fear is think back to your childhood. Think back to a point in your life, and it will usually be in your childhood. Think back to your childhood where you lived a life without fear. Now, I spent most of my life living without fear. I fear very little apart from the ultimate, which awaits us all. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I'm terrified of the end of my life. Okay, which is why I'm doing the things that I'm doing now. Last year, I made some massive changes to my business. I made some massive changes to the way that I was living my life, which is why I am here today in Hamsterley Forest and not working flat out on my estate agency business. I offloaded a lot of costs, I offloaded a lot of burden and a lot of stress. I scaled my business back to a point where it was almost non-recognizable to what I'd built, and it has allowed me to get on and do the things that I want to do. So, just to confirm that, guys, fear does not happen for only 2 reasons. 1, motion. If you don't want to change, you won't change. Fear of the unknown. I get that, okay? Fear of the unknown. We all fear the unknown, but that can be dealt with. So, how do we go about dealing with the unknown? Think back to your childhood. Think back to a time in your life where you lived a life without fear. You will find that moment. For me, it was probably riding in a shopping trolley down a very steep hill with a disaster waiting for me to happen at the end. On that subject of disasters, guys, I was a complete disaster at school. I was a bit of a dysfunctional child as well, and when I left school, I basically just had to get on with my life and deal with stuff, which is probably why I live this life without fear. So I'm going to push on now, guys, and I hope you're enjoying the walk today. I hope you're enjoying the explore around Hamsterley Forest. The subject is all about change, and it's born out of the conversation that I had with Ross and Laura College from Sailing Holly Blue. I will continue to promote them throughout my explore of Hamsterley Forest today. So I'm going to push on, guys, and if you've got the time, please come with me, because Hamsterley Forest is well worth exploring. I'll see you all in a little while. Whilst we're on the subject of change, I set off in the sunshine, blue sky, I've had hailstones which were like pinpricks, and now it's raining. So my friends, we are still exploring Hamsterley Forest, and pardon the slight offensive language, so far so bloody good. It's my first time here, and I'm really impressed, and I'm even more so impressed at the quality of the trails, the waymarking, and now we're allowed to do so thanks to the recent lifting of COVID restrictions. I'm really impressed at the amount of people that are nature bathing today. Everyone's so friendly as well. Obviously there's a few people like me that are hot-footing it, fast-paced walkers, stopping en route to video and film and take photographs and notes. There's mountain bikers cruising around and racing downhill, the adrenaline junkies. And there's people just slowly wandering around, enjoying everything that this beautiful environment has to offer. We're coming up to a little checkpoint here where the Threebeck Trail, the Orange Trail, which I'm following today, takes a turn to the right. You can just see the way markers just there, so clearly marked. It's so clearly signposted as well when a path is shared use. And what we mean by that is pretty simple. There's going to be walkers, cyclists and possibly horse riders as well. There's also a Gruffalo trail here for the young nature bathers as well. You have to go around the woods spotting the Gruffalos, and then you also have to spot these little characters here as well. Look at this little fella. Look at him, little dormouse I think, isn't he cute? Stuff like that can really make a difference to getting the young ones out of their bedrooms, out of their gaming rooms, off their Xboxes and PlayStations, and get them into nature where you can learn so much about stuff. So, exploring Hamsterley Forest today whilst pondering and discussing the concepts of change. And we spoke about the two reasons why people do not allow change to happen. We won't go back there. Rewind to a approximately 5 minute video that is embedded into this short film today, and you will hear my discussions on why change does not happen for just two reasons. But what's prompted it is my conversation, my 1 hour and 40 minutes, which I spent with Ross and Laura College yesterday from Sailing Holly Blue, a British sailing family and their two boys who got their heads around change about maybe 2.5 years ago, gave up and sold up everything in the UK to buy a Bavaria cruiser. That's a sailing yacht. They now live in the Greek islands on their boat. Don't get me wrong, having spoken to them yesterday at great length, they have their challenges, they have their struggles, they have their ups and downs, but they are in complete control of their destiny, and I find that amazing. I find it incredibly empowering. It's bad enough moving from one house to another in the UK, or moving from one side of town to the other in the UK, but to give up everything you own in the UK and buy a sailing yacht, a boat, to become your home, where they run businesses as well, whilst homeschooling Josh and Noah, who are the two most delightful children, obviously apart from my own, my wonderful boy Dylan. They are the two most delightful children you could possibly meet. They are sponges for information and knowledge, and I'm confident that that has been born out of being deprogrammed from everyday life at a very young age. And I think that's one of the big problems that children in this day and age will have, is that the majority of them are programmed. The majority of them will be programmed to do, think, behave and act how life expects children to behave and act. And maybe that's why I've ended up how I am today, because I was not programmed, far from it. So I think we've come to the end of our walk, guys, but I'm going to have a little further explore around Hamsterley, because it was only a short walk today. It was only a 4.5 mile or 4.5 kilometre walk, and I'm pretty sure I'm back at the car park where I set off. So I'm going to have a little further explore around to see what I can find. I want a little bit more content to go into this short film that I'm making today, and I'll catch up with you all in a little while. So see you soon. Take care. So guys, still at Hamsterley Forest, and I'll be brutally honest with you, I don't want to leave. I could spend all day, in fact I could spend a weekend walking around exploring this amazing place of outstanding natural beauty. Just have a little look, the sun's come out. We've been hiking and pondering on the subject of change today, following on from my conversations with Ross and Laura College from Sailing Holly Blue yesterday, and we've definitely seen some change today. I set off in the sunshine, we've had hailstones, I've been rained upon, but now just look at that blue sky. Isn't that amazing? So I'm kind of wandering off piste now. It's like a private ramble. I've come off the main tracks, the waymarked tracks, where there's quite a few people for obvious reasons, and I've had a little divert or a dart through the woods, and I've come up onto this track which I think will join one of the waymarked tracks, but I went one way and it was a dead end. So on the subject of change, I've had to change my plans and head back the other way. Everywhere you go, there's little streams and becks running down off the hills. And I think this little clearing in the woods, which you can see just there, that's the little clearing that I came out and I joined this track. I didn't go that way, I went that way, and that was a dead end. But I managed to get some really good content and I've seen some amazing things. So I'm going to head this way and hopefully find a track or a little slipway down through the woods that will lead me back to the car park, and then I'm going to drive home. So, hiking and pondering and discussing change. It's what makes the world what it is, I guess. I'm not quite sure who said it, but someone said that change is the only constant, so you may as well just suck it up and embrace it. And if you don't, well, you just stand still, really, don't you? You just stand still. And let's be brutally honest, nobody learned anything from staying in one place the whole time. might just be able to hear that. Just down there, there's just another little stream, just another little beck. So, before I wrap this hike and this explore up for the day, my friends, let me just remind you the reason why I'm hiking Hamsterley today, Hamsterley Forest. Well, one, I've never been here, and I'm so glad I came today. It's an amazing place. I could spend a weekend here and probably not even scratch the surface. The other reason, my friends, my Facebook friends, social media family, is because last year I made some changes, some massive changes to the way I lived my life. I scaled my business back, I put my priorities in order, and the reason that I am at Hamsterley Forest today is because of the changes that I made. Had I not made those changes last year, I'd still be working myself to death trying to create the biggest and the best estate agency business on the planet. And ultimately, there's no first prize, is there, for being the richest person in the graveyard? But I also just want to prompt you once again in the direction of my, how can I describe them? Super inspiring, I think is a good way. My super inspiring social media friends, Facebook friends, YouTube friends, closer friends as of yesterday, maybe even spiritual friends and actual physical friends in the near future, Ross and Laura College from Sailing Holly Blue. Please check them out, guys. If you need some motivation to make change in your life, if you need a reason or an understanding of how to do it, please check out Sailing Holly Blue. They have a website. My advice would be just Google it. Google Sailing Holly Blue, you'll find out all sorts of stuff. You'll find their website, you'll find their YouTube channel. And if you feel compelled and inspired by what they do, you can become a virtual member of their crew on Holly Blue. It's just £10 a month, guys, just £10 a month. And you will be helping this amazing and super inspiring British sailing family to keep their floating and sustainable lifestyle well and truly alive. So, I've been Matt from Life Begins at 50 in 462 Days. I'm going to wrap this up now and say that Hamsterley Forest needs to be on your list of places to visit. Okay, take it from me, just have a little look around. Look at that, my friends, isn't that beautiful? Is that not one of the best places to be on a Thursday afternoon at about 2 o'clock? So I've been walking for, what time did I set off? I think about 11 o'clock, something like that. So I've been walking for quite some time today, and I'm going to head back down now. I've found the path. There's two ways. I can go down the mountain bike track or I can go down the forest track. So either which way, I'm going to head on down, cross the river back to the car park and then start hot-footing it back to Barton. So guys, you know the drill. If you are on Facebook, please check out Life Begins at 50 and 462 Days. Don't forget to like my page and follow. You will get to see where I am and what I'm doing. I've got some amazing things lined up for the next few weeks and over the next months, fingers crossed. Also, if you are a YouTuber, guys, you know the drill. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm not in this to make money. I'm in this to educate you, and I'm in this to promote a better way of life. So please, if you are a YouTuber, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell. You will get instant notifications of what I am doing and where I am. So once more, guys, just have a little look, 360 degrees around Hamsterley Forest. And I think we will call today's explore well and truly a wrap. In the meantime, guys, please take care, please stay safe. Remember to stay focused and always, always keep your dreams alive. Remember, nobody is getting out of here alive. So live life to the full, travel often, and be kind.